How y'all doing? Good, good. Yeah, they brought double saw pressure. We were going to go out to it. We kind of had a miscommunication on the protection. And I knew JT was going to get to a spot. We talked all week about it. Zone, I was kind of high-low off the flat defender out there. Lost my back. Kind of just made a play, knew where he was going to be. And just got him the ball. And then he made a hell of a play. Yeah, I practice a lot of, kind of crazy throws like that just because, you never know what position you're going to be in the game to, try to make a throw like that. I missed one earlier in the game to Cameron Harple, and, so that one kind of hurt me. I said I wasn't going to miss another one. I thought it was solid. I think we left a lot out on the table, early in the game, first third down. I missed 3 on a flat route, man traffic play. So that one hurt. We left a lot out there, but overall, I was just proud of the guys. The juice, I really felt like we were playing as a team again. Yeah, big. Big for them to see the ball, get them going, get me going early in the game. Kind of simplified a lot of things, from our perspective, saw a lot of the same pictures. So it's clean for me, and just get the ball into my playmakers' hands, let them go make a play. So that was the biggest thing. I think we just spent more time with each other. I forgot what it took to really dive into a game plan on a different level, express my emotions and opinions on plays, and we kind of really dialed that in, starting on Monday. I think that was the biggest separator, so just going to get back to that every single week.
I mean a lot, man. I've been working for like 2 years or a year and a half. Been working a lot. Just thank coaches and everybody to believe in me that I could play running back and just keep going. So it meant a lot though. Just keeping God first and just keep pushing and just keep working and just trust the process.
You talk about the 75-yard run, and obviously this one was not called back. So what was it like to have that kind of explosive play and for the count?
Oh, it felt good. Like as soon as I got the ball, I seen it. But it felt good to have a long run and finally not get called back. It felt real good.
Slider.
Slider.
We got Jordan Cook and then Cody Wilson joining us. So keep going with questions.
Yeah, it was big. I kind of said it a couple times. I thought, I was really grateful for what happened against Mississippi State. Because if we would have came out of there with a dub, we kind of wouldn't have attacked the week the way that we did. Little issues would have got blown over. So that really came to show, and we kind of honed in on those things, and we were able to really band together as a team. And we saw it second half of Mississippi State carried over into this game. So we got to figure out how we're going to continue to build upon this and just kind of keep the same mojo as a team overall.
Can any of you guys talk about how after last week it was needed to not just win but come out and have a dominant, convincing win?
Yeah, that was definitely our focus all week. I feel like that was our focus as soon as the last game was over with, because with the second half of last week, we kind of seen who we were. So I think once we realized that all week the focus was come out here and get back to playing our type of ball, and I feel like we went out there and did that tonight. We knew the quarterback was a runner, but we just knew we wanted to play a better standard of defense, like better standard of football on the defense side of the ball. And not that we were playing bad, but we just kind of, like I said, we wanted to get back to playing our type of football, all 3 levels, and whether that was whether it was offense, defense, special teams, we just wanted to make sure we went out there and played our style of football, and that was fast, physical, and the most big thing out of everything, we just wanted to make sure we stayed on their neck the whole game, not let up, give any easy things up and just make it hard for them guys.
Yeah, Aurora does a hell of a job with that. And the biggest thing, like I said, was just early in the week talking to him, going through things that I thought I was comfortable with. Seeing the same picture. We really felt like we were on the same page this week. Kind of like the end of last year. How it felt. I don't like to mention last year too much, but that is what it felt like in a sense. Just seeing the same picture a lot. He's telling me things that he's seeing, and I'm seeing the same picture. So just getting on the same page early in the week is going to be the biggest thing. I haven't really looked into statistics like that, kind of just look play to play. So I guess I'm going to go watch the film and dial it in.
I think for me is actually Kirk was the first person to text me and was like, lock in, like it's time now, like you're here. So for me, it was just playing for them, and they believed in me. So for me, it was just making sure I did my job to help the team. We play football. That's it.
Anything else for the guys?
I think it was more of just a self-identity thing. We kind of just, we put pride in our backs. 3, 6, and 1 are a hell of a player, and we got some dudes up front, who can, put their head in and grind it out. So I just got to make sure we're in the right play and in the right look, and not let a free hitter get on our backs. And y'all see what they do when they get space. So really proud of them.
Good. You guys feel ready for big football?
Yeah. Come on.
Definitely.
We ready to go. Appreciate you guys.
Let's do it.
They go see next week. On to the next.
Thank you, gentlemen.
On to the next.
Y'all have a good one.
We'll try and use the mic for Coach the best we can. So.
Behind. Sorry.
Chris and Jacob. And then we'll move around.
Kenny, can you just talk about how you kind of made things easier offensively with the tight ends, easy completions and running the ball?
Yeah, obviously establishing the run was huge. And, a couple first early drives, we were trying to figure it out. Running the ball is one of those things that you got to be dedicated to it because the move in the game, everybody moves a little different on the D-lines. You got to figure it out. So once we kind of figured it out, our guys did a good job. And then we did simplify the plan. We probably cut our play sheet down by about 25, 30%, if not a little more. And we really made sure that our guys were all dialed on and all on the same page. And I think it showed up. I think we played pretty clean football, and we still missed some opportunities, some big opportunities. We had a penalty on one of the drives, and or a couple of drives, and one of them that brought us back. So, I thought we played pretty good.
So how do you feel just overall about the operation on offense?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was really good. We as a staff had a 2-minute scenario where we got to get better at. We thought somebody was dinged up, so we subbed. He's got to just go down because a sub in that scenario creates a slow sub on their side of the ball, and it cost us about 30 seconds with the whole jog him off the field instead of just, hey, if you're hurt in a 2-minute drill, you can't be tough guy. You got to go down. So we as a staff have to go through that. But other than that, I was really pleased with how we operated.
Kenny, can you talk about what was going through your head when Sam and Jordan had that off-script play where he rolled out to the left and then hit JT and he hit that double hop into the end zone? What was going through your mind?
Well, he was the primary read, so I was going through, he's open. Oh, crap. How are you going to get it to him? Oh, you got it to him. Amazing. Did he really just do that? Is he actually in bounds? Wow. That's probably what was going through my head.
Kenny, Sam talked about the focus of getting in rhythm early in this game. You and Royal both talked about that throughout the week. How did you feel he got in rhythm early and
Yeah,
how he executed?
I thought he played well. I mean, just looking at the stat sheet, right here, well, passing 188 on 15, that's pretty good. It's over 10 yards. And then rushing, his ability to extend in the rushing game, 75 yards rushing. And so that's winning football. Counted for 3 TDs. I thought that was winning football. He got us into some good plays. So I thought he got in a rhythm. I thought he played well.
Kenny, back to that touchdown from Sam to Jordan. What does a play like that do to the sideline during a game?
It gets him excited, for sure. I mean, I thought we had good energy all night. I think that was one of the things I was pleased with, is I think we carried over, the second half of last week in terms of the energy and the passion and how we played with on both sides of the ball into this week. So I think we're slowly figuring ourselves out. And I think every team, like I continue to say it, is you want to get better and you want to learn more and adapt to your team as the season progresses. If you're firing all cylinders in week 1, there's probably going to be a bump in the road. People are probably going to try to eventually figure you out. You'd love to do that, but the goal is to get better and better and better. I think we've gotten better. Even in last week's loss, I thought we got better in that second half. And I think in this week we got better because that's a good football team. The goal next week is to get better again because we face another good football team and rock and roll.
Jordan and Jesse.
Kenny, 7 catches for the tight ends today. Shimon had a career high in receptions.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Previously 5, but now 6.
There you go.
So, what role did you see them playing, and how did they help open things up in the offense?
Yeah, Shimon's just been a soldier for us the first few games, and not many targets. He's just gone to work. And I said, you gotta reward people that just work like that and block like that, and he can do that. His Twitter handlers take him deep 7, so he didn't take him deep, but he took him short, and he scored 7, so that kind of counts. But yeah, I've just been very, very pleased with how he's been blocking, how he's been playing football, so you got to reward him.
Sam said he thinks if you all hadn't lost last week to Mississippi State, that might have not locked in as much at practice and everything. Do you think last week's game was a little bit of a blessing in disguise?
Yeah, I said that last week. Anytime you get kind of punched in the face, then you rebound, and then it's like, okay, you want to go back to work. You have 2 choices. You can run at it, or you can run away from it. And I think, I hope we're a football team that runs into it. They run straight at it. Coach Rago brought up this like buffalo versus a cow. A cow runs away from a storm. A buffalo runs through it or something. I don't know. But we wanted to be the buffalo this week was his message. Which run through the storm, you get through it faster. You're the cow, you get caught, you're in it longer, right? So hopefully we're a team that runs through the storm. I don't know if it's true. Don't quote me on it. It's via Coach Rago. So if that's not factual information, you can see him. Oh, hi.
Michelle.
Kenny, can you kind of talk about the takeaway? You finally got that takeaway, that kind of momentum. It was 10-3, and you get the touchdown after the takeaway. Now it's 17-3, and it kind of
Game changing. Takeaways win games. We talk about it all the time. Ask him. I chase him every day in practice saying, get the ball up. Like, that's the most exercise I get all week, is just running around, chasing him, saying ball up, ball up, ball up, and chasing, saying knock the ball out on defense, and for it to show up all the time that we punch at the ball at practice and punch at the ball at practice, they convert a 3rd down, and we punch at the ball and create a takeaway. Absolutely game-changing.
A follow-up, can you tell us what was the deal with Canyon Floyd? We saw McKenzie punt.
Yeah, he had his quad wasn't feeling great before the game. So he should be, I mean, it's not a major deal, so hopefully he'll be back for next week.
Jordan, can you take us through that touchdown where you hurdled the defender and just what was going through your head during that?
It was kind of like just reaction. Like there was nowhere else to go but up. So Shaman was kind of blocking him, kind of shielding him off. So he was kind of low, like off balance already. So I just jumped, took flight, put the ball in the end zone.
What's allowed you to have the success you've had so far this season and just be so consistent?
Just a blessing, man. I feel like a blessing to have Kenny around me, have my family, just a huge support system. I feel like that guided me in the right directions this offseason, and I feel like I maximized my offseason, and I think it's paying off now.
Coach, Sam said that you and Coach Arroyo do a heck of a job at crafting a game script. How do you feel the job? How would you assess the job you did on getting Sam comfortable into the game today?
Yeah, I thought Coach Arroyo did an awesome job in the game plan. I thought he did an awesome job calling the game. You know, some adjustments mid-game, where to move JT, to get him the ball and some things based on what they were doing. So I thought Coach Arroyo had a great plan, and I thought the guys went out there and executed at a high level. Like I said, it wasn't perfect. There's some areas we can get better at as a staff, as a team, but I was really, really happy with the plan, the execution, the effort we played with, and so I'm looking forward to getting back to work.
You had Boogie Wilson come in for X because he didn't play today. What did you just see from his overall physicality as for the rest of the defense?
Yeah, I mean, Boogie brings good energy. Boogie's always smiling. Like I told him pregame, like, good luck. Like, let's go get it, right? He goes, I'm going to try my hardest. Like, it was all, but like, that's Boogie. Like, you have a lot of confidence in him because he's confident in himself, and he brings great positive energy. I thought he played good. I'd have to watch the tape to grade him, but I thought he played good football, and I'm really glad we have him on our football team.
Jordan Kirk was also in the backfield a lot tonight. What have you just seen from him as a leader and a player?
When you play and practice with that much passion, it's going to show up on game day. I mean, it's not rocket science. He practices like it's game day every day. He works like it's game day every day, and then he plays well on game day. And I think he's the definition of what I want people in this program to be, is people that are just passionate every single day. I mean, he'll sweat talking because he'll talk passionately, right? And that's not a joke. That's a fact. And that's just how passionate Crook is about everything, and that's what makes him special.
Get a couple more for Coach and then finish up with Jordan here. So, go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, Coach, to piggyback that on the defense, I mean, did you feel not that they ever played slow, but this is kind of the quickest game they played? Because, I mean, it just seemed everything was very disciplined. Talk about the turnovers, but just your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I thought we had a plan going into the week. We went in on Monday, and we said this is what we want to do to get accomplished. We accomplished those things, right? And I think good football teams, right, they just play football, and you just play another team. Great football teams take the plan and can apply it. And I think what our defense did best in the entire game was they took the plan and they applied it. You know, the goal of football is not about first downs. It's not about yards. It's about points. And I think they did a really, really good job in the first half, not worrying about the stuff that didn't matter, and they worried about the points. And that's what we talked going into the week.
Adam, is your question for Coach?
Yep. Coach Raleek exploded for that big run. To see him rehabbing from the injury last season now, and then going through that process of getting his confidence back in the offseason going into this year, how much have you really just seen his confidence grow now into the season?
I mean, he made the kind of jump that I feel like JT made last year, right? Where he was working back, and nobody really knew about him. Everybody forgets about you when you transfer somewhere and don't play for a year because you're not a new transfer. You're just a guy on the roster now. And he put in the work, just like JT did last year. He put in the work, and that work is showing up. And I think when you're in those situations and you're hurt for a year and you're at a new place, you kind of get lost a little bit, and you got to figure out yourself how to motivate yourself to work, and you're hungry to play again. I think, like I said, similar to JT and Ben and X of last year, I think Raleek's really stepped in and been that guy for us this year. He's kind of the diamond that people forgot about. He's a really, really good football player. He's worked his butt off. I mean, he's focused, he's dialed, he's competitive, he's good in pass protection. Like, he's earned the right to have a game like that.
We'll finish up with Coach Chris.
Yeah, can you just Is there any update on X or Jalen Moss or Kyson Brown and maybe the week ahead?
I would think Brown and Moss will play next week. I would think, unless something happens here in the next couple days. I feel like they're trending heavily in that direction. I'm not going to get too carried away with the words because I don't know the probable questionable. That's for the doctors. I'll just say I feel like they're going to play and leave the fancy words for them. And then on the second one, I don't know. We gotta figure that one out in terms of getting them back.
And what was it like just not giving up explosives in the passing game, especially when Boogie was back there?
Yeah, it was awesome. It's nice. I mean, we're a cover 3 team. Cover 3 is not built to give up explosives. It's built to force a team to be efficient down the field and be explosive on our defense. And when you hit an explosive play on defense, get them behind the sticks and then win those situations. It's not built to 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. If you want to do that, you should play man free on P and 10. And that would be built to go 3 and out every drive. So I think us figuring out that identity of what good defense is, like I said, good offense is scoring points. Good defense is not letting them score points. Yards are not really relevant to me. It just doesn't matter.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
If you don't mind staying, Jordan, for just a couple questions, Ryan.
Oh. You do this in your shoulder pads? Is that normal?
I don't know.
You just want to look big?
I guess so. Hey, JT, we saw Shimon get a career-high 6 receptions today. And for you seeing a guy like that who's able to kind of have a game where he's really blocking and spending a lot of time, we're doing the dirty stuff, and then getting rewarded with stuff on the stat sheet, what does that show for a lot of the guys on the team with, like, putting in work outside of what you might see on game day? Yeah, Shimon's an amazing blocker. I missed a couple of my blocks today, and I felt so bad. I went up to him, apologized like 3 times. And I was like, he probably would have strung it for more yards, probably would have had 100 on the day, but it's just how the team is, bro. Like, we're unselfish. Like, humility is a big thing, and we just don't care who's getting the ball, I feel like.
So, which play was more fun? The NAU play in the corner of the end zone or tonight's play where you hurdled somebody and scored?
Probably the hurdling someone, I ain't gonna lie. I haven't done that in a long, long time.
I'll try and get it back to Jacob, please.
Jordan, a couple catches on play action today. How would you say that concept just helps you get separation and give you an advantage against the defense?
Yeah, especially being as run efficient we are. Ralik had like 150 yards. Being able to run, and then play action pass off of it makes my job easier, especially when all the linebackers are tucked away in the box.
JT, you talked about how one of the things that's allowed you to be this successful was maximizing the offseason. How did you see Ralik maximize that offseason, and what does it mean to you to see one of your friends on the team succeeding the way he has been?
Yeah, definitely. I think he was just so hurt from same boat I was in, just hurt from had knee injury, had knee surgery, just not being able to play, seeing all these bros play, seeing us lose in the college football playoffs. You just develop this hunger of just wanting to come back better than ever, I feel like, and that's what he did. And conditioning days, he was working his tail off. Squat days, he was squatting as much as he could. Bench days, he was right there with me on rack 1. So, yeah.
You talk about that hunger from seeing the team lose in the college football playoff. Do you feel like you shared that hunger as well?
For sure. Yeah, that definitely hurt. But, sure, trying to go back. That's our goal.
Anything else for Jordan? Good? Awesome. Thank you, Jordan.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thanks for helping with the mics, everybody.